rock formation and things. And obviously this is bad, but we will, after we've done the pass on the main POI, we will do a pass something like that where we'll place rocks and break the formation. I know, right? You know, pipes is the detail that comes later. Concrete pillar, let's set for pillars. So right now I was so some of the reference was like something like that. Obviously we're not going with this contemporary styles because we don't have such an asset, because we are constrained with asset from Far Cry and some other games. But the idea is that we want to have an overhanging shapes to break a bit of silhouette, which is what we're trying to do here or in general. The problem that I have right now is that this bottom here is way too heavy to whatever we're gonna put there. So now we're gonna look for pillars or things that can be placed under here to make a bit engineering logic, or either find a better piece that fits better to what we're trying to do here. Yeah. And then we have 5G antennas, and basically as if the player stays here too long, it gets cancelled. to ground this gameplay to reality. Oh god. We'll see. So yeah, we were working on the walkways here, because before they were just LD blocks, and then yeah, this is bothering me a lot. So let's see. So Libra say pillars. Let's say pillars. Yeah, that's some pillars. I wish they were more industrial pillar. They look like all ruins or sci-fi. That's me. Oh, this maybe? Pillars like that reminds me of Half-Life. You know, that part of the game where you are near the bridge where the train goes really fast, and you are like under the bridge and they're like all bare concrete pillars. Kind of remind me of that. I wanted to see. Let's see if we can find something here. Concrete base. Is there a shorter concrete base? Base? See. Alright, let's stop this. Let's orient this with that. And then let's move it down. Got also a nice little. That can be a bit of a pain, but let's see. See if we can utilize that, get that just to make an extra detail. Wait, did I not? It is a line, just that. Yeah, this rock is competing too much, in my opinion. So we will make sure that we got a bit of opening there. I'm gonna move probably the terrain a bit. What about props dimension? I don't know. These assets need to pinch a bit, I guess. Yeah. The pillars, I think in general, every structural asset should be at least a meter or 2 meters, and that's because even if this is not a cover-based shooter, in general, if we have the chance to add some covers in the asset that you make, that would definitely be beneficial for the game in general. And imagine if a pillar was just 50 centimeters, and when the players try to take cover behind it and to hide from NPC shooting at her, that would be really bad, because then you ended up with pillars that are not very gameplay friendly. And yeah, but in general, yeah. So either 1 meter or plus, or 20 centimeters or less, but not that measure in not that size in the middle where you don't understand if that's a cover or not. That makes sense. Yeah, we're gonna add this just for the sake of it, but not that you can really see it. I don't know. What's this thing? Let's move a bit of terrain. Oh no! So there's this annoying thing that when you move the terrain, or the prop snaps to it. So annoying. Can't change this now. It's kind of it's kind of nice to look at it, like, ooh, coming down. Please comment this with one word, Libra. Comment this with one word. I'm trying to modify the terrain. Look at that. Exactly. Alright, for now, let's not lose all our time there for now. So annoying. What is this builder doing here? Let's have this builder there. Perfect. Perfect. And then helipad. We need to add a zipline. Yeah, of course we will add a zipline. Of course. That's just obviously. I was also thinking to add a zipline if I add a tower here, to add a zipline from the tower to another location, and so that the player can also decide to go there and scout the NPCs from there, and then approach quickly the thing. We'll see. That's safe. Let's quickly jump in game and see what happens. I'm curious to see those walkways that we just had. Is it clunky, right? Oof, look at that coming out. And then we're gonna have handrails here. But I think we did a good job here. It's not too nice, because what we wanted to do is to keep that detail there, that negative space there, and I was worried that this step would have been too high for the players' navigation, but looks good. And then here we're gonna add a ladder, a little staircase that will signpost this door even more. Maybe I'm thinking that this building should be rotated, or should be rotated more on that side, so that we we guide the players. Alright, that side. Whoop. Obviously, we need to work on this lake. Probably our best bet, since we have so little texture, because we only have 4 textures for this environment, for the terrain. So I think our best bet is to place a lot of rocks around the lake, just to make it more integrated, rather than use one of those 4 precious textures. Cool. So I was thinking that this might be interesting to look at it more like that, so that when you come from this side, it's already guiding you towards the entry point there. I think that could be interesting to look at it. So let me select these things around. Unfortunately, we cannot group, but if you select all of it, it will move all together. Just nice. Just nice. So you're coming from here, you got this flanking route there, if you feel like you want to be safe and scout more things. And then, or if you want to just go through there, you're gonna be able to see the entrance, which is there, which I think works really well. And I think in this case, the stairs here, it will be even better looking and effective. More like that. So this is one of those things that probably you would not see in reality, because people try to keep things aligned, because having everything angled, it's a bit annoying for infrastructures and things to work properly. But in games where we have that freedom of doing something that we want, we can do this sort of things, as far as everything feels like believable. That's the key point. I haven't seen Spline, Libra. I haven't seen Spline. I really hope there's gonna be Spline or something, because it's gonna be very hard without it. Especially with the power line. I imagine that would be really cool to see a power line on the road and then connecting the power with this little POI. But I haven't seen a Spline yet, so scared. We'll see. Okay, so back to this. So let's quickly add some railing. Actually, first.
Look at you, listening to Spotify while you do whatever it is you're doing. That's exactly why it makes sense to promote your business here. Yeah, your business. Whether you have 2 employees or
there you go. That's what I was
your
talking
voice
about.
can reach as broad
Is that high
or
enough?
as narrow of an audience as you need.
Too high?
And connect with them where visual media can't. Try it today at adstudio.spotify.com or tap the banner to learn more.
Been thinking about coming back to Spotify Premium? Now that's a great idea. With unlimited skips, ad-free listening, and offline mode, upgrading to Premium is a no-brainer. You can listen to any song, anywhere, anytime, without any limits. Ready to go Premium?
I got food.
Tap
Be
the
right back.
banner to learn more.
I'll be right back with this. Got a lot of food. Be right back. Hello?
Hello?
Oh my god, we got a Lolo in the chat.
Oh.
Wait, let's
So,
see. Let's see.
are we in the stream?
Yeah, you're in the stream now.
Huh? Oh.
You're live, and maybe soon even someone else. Like a Libra, maybe. If we can figure it out. Just a second.
But now I have to mute the stream on Twitch.
Yes, you have to, otherwise you'll hear my echo. Let's see if Libra's join us. Oh, we got a Libra Lato too.
Hi, Libra.
Hello. I like how I'm forcing you all to speak in English, but we are all Italians.
Yeah.
How's it going?
Not so good.
How's Lydia?
Lydia is good now, but we are in a red zone again for 2 more weeks.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Well, in Italy now we have 4 different color, each one representing a different percentage of coronavirus cases in the area. So each region has its own color. And so if you are in yellow, it means that you are able to go in another city and move freely in your own city. If you are in orange, you can only go in your city. And if you are in a red zone, which means high dangerous, you can only stay inside, and all the schools are closed. So from tomorrow, the Lydia's school is closed for 1 week and a half, and we have to stay with her. So we are not able to work, and it's pretty.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
We like we love to stay with her, but yeah, it's not possible to work and stay with her. So
no, I understand completely.
So Isabella is working in the morning while I'm staying with Lydia, and in the afternoon then we switch. So Isa stay with Lydia, and then I work.
And what are you gonna do for Easter?
We will in red zone, so we are not able to go outside and to.
Yeah, it looks like I won't be able to return from the UK to Italy until like the summer.
Are you still in UK, Libra?
Yeah, of course. There's a travel restriction for a while. And apparently, like they wanted the travel to be like allowed from like 17th of May.
Oh well.
But there's a possibility they're gonna extend that date. Like there's a lot of confusion, to be honest.
Yeah. Here in Italy too, we only know Friday. On Friday, we knew that we are in this red zone, and only Friday we knew that the schools were closed. So.
Damn.
So you don't even have time to, make some programs or.
Yeah, just be ready to make another Easter alone.
Yeah. Another one. It seems that nothing is changed from last year.
Just gotta be patient. That's all.
But and in Canada, Leo, what's the situation?
Good, to be honest, like I think we are in some sort of lockdown, but I kind of lost track of it. But there's no like we always stay in a lockdown even during summer, so because of that, we sort of kept the numbers low, I think, and because of that, even winter lockdowns are not too bad because we're still able to go outside to like a walk or something. Like supermarkets are open. Obviously, non-essential places are closed, and yeah, I think. But yeah, I don't think it's as restrictive as it is in Italy. I don't know about UK though. And another thing that we don't have, that it's so close, is all the barber shops. So if you talk with Canadians, you will see there.
Yeah, that's the same problem. I had to cut the hair on my own.
Which is something that is open in Italy, as far as I understood.
I don't know how good. I mean, from front.
It depends on the color of your region. As long as you are in orange, the barber shop are open, but in the red zone they are closed. So
problem is there's a lot of people flaunting the rules. They do whatever they want anyway. So
yeah.
I mean, this is why we are in red zone.
Yeah.
Here they want to have outdoor barbers where you can cut the hair in the streets.
I'm not just joking. Like cut the hair on your own, so the front side will look good, and behind, whatever. You don't care.
Can you imagine cutting your hair on the sidewalk and then there's a tracker passing by?
Yeah, you don't need the gel.
You don't need the gel indeed. You got dirt coming on your hair. But yeah, I guess some desperate people will definitely use that. Apparently,
but the question is
why people were rioting in US, right? Because they didn't have a barber.
The question is, what food did you get?
Did you notice how fast did I eat that food? So I got some. So in the past, I think almost a year ago, I started this journey in the veganism. So I'm eating all vegan, and I ordered a vegan burger.
So you moved to vegan?
Yeah.
To veganism?
I wanted bigger challenges.
Well, not much changes from. I mean, if you do your pasta dishes, it's pretty much almost the same.
So you're not eating. So you're not eating any tuna.
That reminds me of that bar where we were ordering the salad, and I was asking, "Can I have the salad without meat or fish?" And they were asking, "Is tuna okay?"
Don't you miss Pizzeria Italia from Newcastle, Leo?
I do. I still have the like on Facebook. Sometimes I see what they share with the new pizza, the Romana page.
Yeah, they keep putting new stuff. And I found a new place around here where I am right now, which is good, but not as good as Pizzeria Italia.
You haven't found the best yet?
No, but I found an Italian place finally, because before I was just like, I could only have Domino's. And
oh my god, poor you.
And it wasn't like the best thing.
We still have Domino's here too, but I feel like there are much more Italian places. It's kind of like London, you know how there is plenty of good places.
Yeah.
Something like that. Something like that. So for the stream, we got Roberto Libralato, which is which worked with me on The Division 2 as a lighting artist and as a advisor in general, because he has really good skills in terms of making things look pretty. And then we have Lorenzo Conticelli, which is the old friend that we worked together when we, like, I don't know, how many years ago? I keep saying 3 years ago, but I guess it's now 8.
Yeah.
More than 10.
More than 10.
If you're considering that we worked together on The Town of Light and then we worked even on PUBG, I think we worked together 3 years ago, maybe.
Years ago, okay, not too bad.
Yeah.
And he's currently working on the next. You want to introduce your game? Maybe post a link on the chat.
Yeah, I work in an independent studio, an Italian independent studio called LKA, and we are now working on Martha is Dead, our next psychological thriller, first person, really cool game. So if you are interested, we dropped a small teaser a couple of days ago during the future, I don't remember the event, Future Gaming Show, did an event hosted by, I don't remember the name, but let me check. Future Game Show. Hosted by GamesRadar. Now I remember. GamesRadar. So if you are interested, please have a look at the trailer. A small teaser. Not the trailer yet. And yeah.
Can you send the trailer link in the chat so that people can
Okay.
see it? I think you should be able to. Maybe our magic bot will ban you.
I don't know. Maybe it's spam.
Nah, that's fine.
But yeah, let me.
Well, that's from the moderators to decide.
Who's the moderator? Also, Libra, do you want to mention about you?
Yes, as myself.
Yeah.
Currently, I work for Unity Technologies, so if you're familiar with the Unity engine, I work on that specific tool as a technical lighting artist, and I basically help improving the tools for creating boards for Unity, and at the moment we are focusing on new features that are not available yet. Before that, I worked with Leo at Ubisoft Reflections, I think 2.5 years. And then previous to that, I came from movies. I work at MPC London, movie picture company, for character effects.
Ask a moderator for permission.
How can I grant that permission? I don't know. Borto did all this, like this thing.
Yeah, and now my link was removed.
Can you send it on Discord?
Yeah.
And I'll post it there.
Well, general discussion. Okay.
Copy link. Can I post that or will I get banned? No. Alright.
Yeah, get banned from your own stream.
So that's the game that LKA.
This is the latest trailer.
It's good. Release date?
Not yet announced, but yeah, we cannot talk. But we are near close to the end of the game. Then we have to do the porting for all the platform: PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox X, Xbox S, Xbox One. So lots of versions to be made.
Oh, so you have to optimize for Xbox One and PS4.
Yeah, for everything, for both the next gen and the old gen. So yep, pretty busy, but
Yeah.
for
That's
now
actually the biggest problem at the moment. Optimizing for the other gen, it's very resource intensive at the moment.
Yeah, for now we are pretty good on the next gen side, and on the PC side we are pretty good with the performance. We haven't tested yet on the old version. Well, we've made a couple of tests just to see if run and so on, but nothing serious about optimizing the performance on the old one. We are more focused on closing the game, and in the game we have a deadline in a couple of weeks, a milestone in a couple of weeks. Yeah.
I also have milestones on stuff that I cannot say, unfortunately. But it would be really cool that if maybe we can do a demo in the future for the new feature set that we're working on.
Are you working on a new sort of demo, or something?
Kind of, yes. I'm
to showcase, or only on tool and pipeline?
It's both. I can't really say anything, unfortunately, because of.
Yeah.
I mean, I need to ask for permission when I can say what I can't. But
if it's something to R&D related, or something that we will see in the future.
In the very near future, hopefully. Something that will improve pipeline and development for AAA open world games.
Something that
so it's going to be very exciting.
So something that we get Unreal Engine devs to switch back to Unity?
Maybe.
Ooh.
I don't know.
Don't tell me, bro. We just moved we moved from Unity to Unreal, and don't say we need to move back.
It always depends on the game you're working for, obviously. So
obviously.
Oh, yeah.
My God.
So how big is your team you are working on, Libra?
It's quite large. I'm actually working with people from all around the world, so I work with different time zones. Because I have to work with the terrain team other than the rendering team, and they are on different studios. So I would say 30 to 40 people.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
But yeah. It's just like new stuff is looking very promising. Like now Leo is doing this world editing stuff. I think he will love some of the new features.
Yeah. I mean, this editor is very old. And believe it or not,
yeah, it's also basic. I mean,
some features of this editor, they are better than what we actually use.
Yeah, because it's a commercial release. It's available for everyone, and also there's also limitation, like you said, on budgets, because these maps are supposed to be able to be downloaded by any players from the content browser.
Yeah, and I guess also to make sure that the map that you're making runs, because I think if you get over the budget and then the FPS start to go down, people will blame Far Cry rather than who made the map. So I guess they made an out limit on things, which is good.
Yeah.
But the fact that you need to have only 4 textures, that's tough.
Yeah, but that's a limitation that's in common with. I mean, this is also a limitation that Unity had for a while on some modules.
What really annoys me is the fact that I cannot sculpt the terrain without affecting the pivot of other things.
Because the auto snaps.
Yeah, I'm like, come on.
When we worked on the Town of Light, and we use a custom plugin for the terrain to just to avoid this thing of having only four texture on the terrain. And I think
But Soundlight was made with built-in engine, right? It was made with Unity 4 or 5.
Unity, we started with Unity 3 and we moved to 4 at the very beginning, and then we switched to Unity 5. I think we've seen a lot of...
Because now, like, the terrain changes dramatically depending on which pipeline render you're using. So if you use built-in or universal render pipeline or HDRP.
I haven't seen Unity in 3 or 4, maybe 4 years or 5 years now.
Yeah, basically when you create a new project, you can choose the render pipeline, and there's a lot of features are quite different. For example, in HDRP, you have better shader support. You have more volumetric lighting. It's more like for next-gen rendering, and it's not really suitable for mobile or low-power platforms. And you have a lot of compute shaders as well. Meanwhile, you have this new universal render pipeline, which is supposed to have all the features at reduced cost and fidelity. And then you have like a built-in render, which is basically your classic render engine.
Sounds promising.
And right now I'm actually working on the terrain, and there's
what I have here, Libra. You will appreciate it.
Sorry?
The webcam. Look at what I have.
Yeah, sorry, it's a bit delayed because I'm watching your stream, but the Discord is
delayed.
Yeah.
You will see in a few seconds.
Let's see. Is the food?
No. Oh my god, it's very delayed if it hasn't arrived yet.
The tiny San Pellegrino, how much is that? Like $4?
$4? was part of the combo with the things that I got. So I said, alright, why not? Water is healthier than sodas and pops, for sure. So what do you guys think about what I'm making? Do you like it? So the only reason why I'm making this is because today is raining outside, and I'm like, I don't want to go outside.
I mean, there are features on this editor that are like more advanced than like from default on Unreal and Unity. I know, for sure. I know. Like road splines, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's not a basic thing in Unity or in Unreal, and it's really cool.
Yeah, also the automatic water. You have a lot of modules that are
the automatic water. Yeah, I've seen before swimming in this water.
Yeah,
it seems so cool.
Then one of the cool thing that you can paint depending on the percentage of the slope.
Yeah, that's cool, right?
So it's very easy to add detail, because like in Unity you have to do that by hand unless you have splat maps.
Yeah,
but that's cool. Something that we are working to improving that stuff right now. So
yeah, no, I agree. Like, there are like some things that are really cool that I wish we had in the real engine.
Spotify listeners based on their interests, demographics, music.
Yeah.
But you know, Leo, me and you, we both miss. We are a bit biased, but because we work with Snowdrop.
Yeah.
Like the terrain wasn't like probably this advanced, but they had more advanced stuff on the shader aspect, like the decals, the tessellation.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, you can't really change anything in terms of shaders, obviously. But, oh my god.
But yeah.
So is this similar to the engine you are usually working on, Leo?
Yeah, very similar. I would say for some areas better.
Oh.
Like the way that you place assets, I think is really cool, and it's just different from what we have, and I think this way works really nice. The fact that you click an object and you see the preview everywhere you want, I can show you. You will see it in a few seconds. But if I go to an object and I search for house, you go on house, you select the object from the object list, and then you will see it already how it will look in the scene before you even place it. So you get a sense of scale, you get a sense of things, and
yeah,
it's pretty cool.
It's a very game approach. It's like when you play an RTS and you're trying to build a base. You see the preview of elements.
Like working on Age of Empires remind me when you are building new structures and then the priest comes over and they steal everyone.
Now I see the house you were mentioning. So I got there's lots of delay in the stream.
Yeah, I don't know why actually.
Yeah.
But yeah,
yeah, I mean,
go for it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of lag on the stream, but you actually I'm checking your FPS counter and you are never below 50 FPS. So your user experience is probably much smoother than what we're seeing right now.
Is it lagging the stream?
The stream is lagging for me.
Yeah, it's very smooth on mine. And I should be stream at 60 frames per second if I remember.
It really depends how you're streaming.
OBS.
Okay, but you're not using another computer. You're using the same machine, right?
I'm using the same machine. Yeah, actually, I think OBS and the engine are competing to steal graphic card resources.
Yeah, I don't know how OBS is set up because you can use Shadowplate from NVIDIA to have a smoother streaming experience.
I think you
don't have all the OBS features though.
You got some codecs that use the GPU.
Yeah,
that you can use, which works, I guess.
And what about the asset library you have?
It's very hard to navigate. I wish there was more filters, to be honest, because it's very hard to find things. And you got categories, but you can only see what's inside the category only if you go to the youngest child of the hierarchy. So I can.
But have you got only assets and props from Far Cry or from other projects?
And there are also other projects.
All Dunia project from Abyss Sims, you have Watch Dogs.
It looks like, yeah.
But is this the sort of dome something you have made?
What dome?
The main dome you have.
The red dome here we are talking about, because on the Division, let me see if I can find a screenshot. On the Division,
it reminds me.
Yeah, on the mission that we were working on, we had something very, very similar. And
we made a red dome, but it is higher in detail. But I know that
it's similar, but it's not yours.
The thing is, some assets get chosen, and then they can be modified for other purposes.
So you see how it looks better? It has all the folds and things, so definitely got modifier.
Yeah, it got simplified. I believe this also was used on Starlink.
Yeah.
Even a lower resolution.
Exactly.
Starlink was a very cool game.
Yeah, it was very cool. It's a bit sad that it didn't get enough attention from the public and the media.
Yeah, it is what it is, unfortunately.
Trying to cut it the rain.
Look, this LD block. We are basically skipping the level design phase here. Usually when you do levels originally, like Leo used a little bit of this blocking with the grid. And level designer build a level with those cubes only. And when you play you can play the entire game like with these cubes initially. And sometimes they get like stuck there until like they won't patch, or they remain just there because we forgot to clear. Or
I have seen a couple of games that still have these gray cubes or props without texture and only. I have played recently Darksiders 3, if I remember correctly, and in one area there are a couple of props that they are gray cube with the checker on it and left in that way.
Yeah, also in real, it's very common to see on some of those indie projects, or maybe not also very indie, but like a lot of projects to see the classic real checker.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to figure out this part now. Any suggestion?
let's see.
Let me see if I have a way to reduce the latency on the Twitch.
Let's see, setting. Like your source resolution is very weird.
Yeah, the reason why I have that weird source is that the frame without the border around, it's full HD, so that I can get that for the highlights on YouTube when we make those other streams.
Yeah, this is why we probably need a secondary machine like that does the capture and process the image for you.
Extension settings, channel. Did you guys saw the new thumbnails for the YouTube videos?
Nope.
So good.
I will go check out.
What's gonna be on the next video?
We did just this Cyberpunk, so the next highlight is gonna be Cyberpunk.
Yeah, but Cyberpunking without RTX, dude.
Yeah, probably Porto is listening, so feel free to say whatever you want. And
Hi, Porto.
There is a low latency setting, so I try to enable that. Let's see what happened.
Yeah, low latency mode is like to have the stream more like real time.
Yeah. So
instead of buffered.
I activate that, and I wanna see if that change or that will change after the next stream.
Did Porto do the preview for the?
I did.
You did.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Leo, you know that I got dual 3090 now.
Dual. Yeah.
Yes, one wasn't enough.
Yeah, I want the one from Control to use as my new wallpaper.
What? You are what?
The one from Control. I want as a new wallpaper.
I can actually show the bigger one. Let me see. So we got this, which is Battlefield. I don't know how the latency is now in the stream, but I'm showing the stream.
It now is better.
Okay, there we go. That, which is like the best performance for Bolton. The poll was like that one. We got Bioshock with the little sister.
You got air on all of them.
That's really good. Yeah. We got Metro. also time for Fish. Cyberpunk.
We need to do one for Division 2 for all our missions.
Yeah, we need to. I probably need to ask Ubisoft if we can share that, and if we can do a big stream with you, James, and maybe others, and look at it.
I'm gonna record footage in 8K just for you.
Yeah, we're gonna crash Twitch.
YouTube.
So I guess here I'm gonna be doing the same thing. Or no? What do you think? Maybe here I can go more solid and use the...
Where is the bathroom, Leo? You have to add.
I don't have it yet, but I planned it. I don't know if you were here when I was planning the space. I was saying, oh, we need a bathroom here. And I was like, okay, the bathroom can be here.
Not enough marble surface, by the way.
Shiny marbles. Don't worry, we're gonna do a marble bus.
Yeah, that was our solution on the Division to make everything look more
next gen.
Like next gen, yeah. Everything made of marble. And paddles, that as well. Like 60 water paddles decal per square meters.
No shadow secrets.
The secrets.
Yeah, not much a secret anymore. Let's remove that shit. What are you guys doing right now? Are you working or?
Yeah, I'm working. So
I'm not. I'm playing World of Warcraft while I watch you stream.
Nice. So you got 380 for World of Warcraft?
390, not 380.
390?
Yeah.
Nice. Up a bit. Is it such a heavy game?
Well, they added the ray tracing in the latest beta, so...
So you're using ray trace now?
On the Burning Crusade beta, yes.
Cool, at least you got some improvements.
I actually use the GPU for offline rendering with V-Ray and Redshift.
Oh, I see.
By the way. Because I still do that kind of stuff from time to time.
on your own Libra or just for commercial or?
Freelance, and then also with other people. One that you know, known as Licho.
Oh. So are you working for Licho?
No, we're working on some stuff that maybe we can show another time.
Personal project.
Yeah, I'm using GPU rendering to do that, and let's say like a processor CPS processing power of GPU is so good right now that makes any kind of CPU rendering obsolete, I will say, especially if you work on a small team. Like imagine rendering characters with